Hello lovelies and welcome back to the channel. This is a tag video. It is 50 questions you've never been asked before YouTube tag. And I found this while I was like watching some beauty tag videos, and I was just kind of looking online of like what would be a cool interesting tag to do for you guys. There's 50 questions, so this is gonna be a long video. So go grab a snack. Something to drink. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go get some wine because in vino veritas. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've got wine. Actually, Tarek got me wine, so yay Tarek. So there's 50 questions in this tag, and I've got them on my iPad here, and I'm gonna go through them one at a time. I only read some of the questions, so you might get like my reaction when I read them. So just so you know. Okay, what's your favorite candle scent? Ooh, that's a good one. The other day I was like at Marshall's. You know how like if you go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx, like on the, like when you go to the register, they have like candles and stuff there. I think my favorite candle scents, like I have a mix, like either the really like mandarin orange, like clean scents, or I want like a cranberry scent. I don't like anything too musky, so like it either has to be fruity or like clean smelling, something like that. I don't know if I have like a favorite. So number 2, what female celebrity do you wish was your sister? Oh, which one? Female celebrity? Rihanna. Like, I feel like Rihanna would be freaking awesome. And I feel like Rihanna would be the kind of person who, if you were doing stuff that was just like dumb, she'd be like, stop being dumb. Like, I need that in my life, you know what I mean? Which male celebrity do you wish was your brother? Straight up Matthew Gray Gubler. Like, if you don't know who Matthew Gray Gubler is, get thee to Instagram right now. He is a amazing like director and artist, and he also plays Dr. Spencer Reed on Criminal Minds. He was my crush. He was my lifetime crush until I met my husband. Sorry, Matthew. My husband wins. So, number 4 was, how old do you think you'll be when you get married? Well, I got married at 30, so 30. I actually had never planned on getting married until I met Tarek. I thought I was just going to be married to my career and that I would just sort of float in and out of relationships. But when I met my husband, that all changed, and he's the love of my life and one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And he brings me wine. Number 5, do you know a hoarder? So I don't know anybody who I think is like a legitimate hoarder, like somebody who just like keeps everything, like the gross stuff, like, you know, newspapers and like stuff like that, or like soup cans. Like, I don't know anybody like that. But I do know a fair amount of people who are what I would call collectors, where they keep things way longer than they should. Luckily my husband and I are definitely not like that. We do declutters like all the time of our stuff. I don't think either one of us like really is a knick-knack person, which is nice because, but what we do hoard is books. So we have way more books than we should. Things that we've like never read, don't intend on reading, don't ever use, but if you tried to take them from us, like you'd have to pry it out of our cold dead hands. So yes and no. Can you do a split? No, I cannot. How old were you when you learned how to ride a bike? I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. We lived in the suburb. We lived in San Jose, California when I was growing up, and we lived in like this super like just quiet neighborhood. It was a perfect place to grow up and like learn how to ride your bike. And there was a house like right next door to us that people didn't always live in. It was like a 2-story house, Victorian. It was very pretty up there. And their backyard was like they had like a construction thing. It was owned by like one of the big churches in the area, and on like right next door to my house they had kind of like this little park, like with little like statues out in front, and you could go and like ride your bike around there and like kind of do hops over like the little rocks and stuff like that. So that was kind of a really cool place to learn how to ride your bike. How many oceans have you swam in? Three. Three oceans. The Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Baltic, I think. So, is anyone in your family in the army? Yes, one of my cousins is in the army, or at least he was in the army. I'm not sure if he still is. He was a mechanic in the army. And what would you name your daughter if you had one? Okay, so I've named our children before I ever met my husband, and if I had a daughter, I would name her Sophia because it means higher wisdom, and I would want my daughter to be very wise and smarter than me and not make any of the mistakes that I did. And same question of your son, same thing. I would name him William after William the Conqueror because I'm a history nerd and William the Conqueror's descendants still rule over England. So, what was the worst grade you got on a test? Ew. So, I failed my first calculus test, or no, I failed my midterm calculus test in college. That was the first time I'd ever failed a test. Like failed it hard. I got a 40 out of 100. So I would have had to get 120% on the final to pass that class. I ended up withdrawing from the class. It was not for me. I had to go back and do like a different math to get my degree. So I took econometrics instead of taking like full on calculus. It was bad. Like it was not good. So, to be fair, that was a class that was like accelerated. Like I tried to take a faster class during the summer. And even though math and science are kind of my jam, like I've always like liked math and science, but math was always really, really difficult for me, and I didn't find out that I had dysgraphia until college. So I found out like the semester before that failure that I had dysgraphia, which is like dyslexia but with numbers, and which is an important thing to know. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child? Oh my god, what wasn't my favorite TV show? So Captain Planet, Rescuers Down Under, probably Sabrina the Teenage Witch. As I got older, I used to sneak out of bed at night. Like when we first got cable, I would sneak out of bed to go watch Beavis and Butthead because we did not have DVRs back in the day. Loves, yeah, I'm old. Oh, it's time to play HQ. Hold that thought. So I didn't win HQ. No big surprise. So we're gonna move on to the next question. What did you dress up as on Halloween when you were 8? I was Queen Nefertiti. Have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? I have read all of the Harry Potter and Hunger Games series. I have read none of the Twilights. Not really my thing. Would you rather have an American accent or a British accent? Obviously, a British accent. Like, I'm an American, we don't have accents. And I'm saying that because I'm an American, and obviously that's the default, because you don't have an accent if you're the default, because I'm an ethnocentric American. Did your mother go to college? My mom went to some college, but I am the first person in my family to graduate from a university. Are your grandparents still married? Unfortunately, all sets of my grandparents have passed away, but all of them were married at the time of their passing. Have you ever taken karate lessons? Yes, I have, and it was super fun, and I loved it. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Yeah, obviously. But, you know, if you don't know, well, that's none of my business. So, what is the first amusement park you've ever been to? In not too far away from where I grew up, there was a place called Great America, and at Paramount's Great America, and it was a kids like wonderland. They had like the Nickelodeon slime place where you would go, and like on a hot day they colored the water to like this, there's like fuzzies going around. They colored the water green, so like when you would hit a button to like go through the like water feature or whatever on a super hot day, it was like you were getting slimed and you could slime other kids. It was super fun. So, what language besides your native language would you like to be fluent in? I would like to speak French or Italian, but I also want to learn an Asian language, either Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. I think would be really cool. Do you spell the color as gray, Grey, or gray, Gray? I honestly, when I'm referring to teas, spell it Grey, and when I'm referring to a color, like I have a gray sweater, I say Gray. I don't know why I do that, but... Is your father bald? No, my father is not bald. He has a luscious head of hair and he is amazing. Hi, Papa. Do you know triplets? I don't personally know any triplets. No, I don't. Do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? Definitely The Notebook. I think The Notebook's just a better story, and it totally bugs me at the end of Titanic where she's like, I'll never let go, I'll never let go, and then immediately lets go. Like, have you ever had Indian food? Yes, I very much enjoy Indian food. What is the name of your favorite restaurant? Ooh, that's hard. There's a lot of them. Blossoming Lotus in Portland. It's an all-vegan restaurant. Native Foods Cafe for like more casual dining. And, oh my god, there's another one. Oh, Homegrown Smoker in Portland, Oregon. It is vegan barbecue and it is so good. So good, so good. Have you ever been to the Olive Garden? Yes, I have been to the Olive Garden. Not a fan. Not a fan. Do you belong to any warehouse stores, Costco, BJ's, etc.? No, like we have gone back and forth whether or not we wanted to be Costco members, especially around Christmas time, because they have really good deals on like movie passes and stuff that you can give as gifts. But because it's just the two of us, we just don't have the space in our apartment to store like 5 months worth of cereal. It just doesn't make sense for us. Okay. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? I don't know. I can't remember if my mom didn't know what gender I was, so I think they waited until I was born to name me. I'm actually named after Stephanie Powers from Heart to Heart, so that's why my name's spelled differently with an F. But I think that she probably would have named me like, she wanted originally to name me Nicole, but it was my birth father who named me. But I think my mom probably would have named me something like Nicholas or Andrew or some kind of like traditional name like that, because I think she would have done something like that. So, if you have a nickname, what is it? I'm not telling. That's a story for another day. Who's your favorite person in the world? Besides my husband, the best person in the entire world would probably be my mom. And I say that because my mom has put up with me my entire life and always loved me, and those are life goals. Good job, Mom. Would you rather live in a rural area or in the suburbs? So I currently live in the suburbs and I don't mind it. Part of me goes back and forth between whether I want to live even further out in the suburbs and like go rural. I feel like the older I get, the more I want to move out to the country, but at the same time too, like there's a lot of stuff to be said. We live just outside of Portland and it's nice that we don't have to deal with all the Portland traffic all the time. So like on the weekends we're just kind of in the suburbs, but Portland, Oregon is getting like super dense and traffic is always really bad. So I don't know, like part of me goes back and forth. Like I would kind of love to live in the city for a while and just kind of be able to walk places and go different places and not have to worry about parking and other stuff. But at the same time, like I really do like where we live now, which is just outside. So I'd probably say the suburbs are like in between rural and city. So I probably prefer the suburbs. Can you whistle? No, I cannot whistle. I just never could. And my mom can whistle like crazy, where she can like go and like do that really loud whistle. Like that's how she always used to find us, me and my brother, in crowds. And I don't understand how people do that. I don't. Also, my husband can't whistle either. So, you know. Do you sleep with a nightlight? We don't sleep with a nightlight in our room, but we do in the bathroom, so that if we have to like get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you're not like light blind from the light. Do you eat breakfast every morning? No. I have coffee every morning. Does that count? Do you take any pills or medication daily? Other than multivitamins, no. What medical conditions do you have? I am a recovering diabetic, and so if you watch my video about veganism and why I went vegan, you can learn more about that. And how many times have you been to the hospital? For myself, probably less than like 4 times that I've ever needed to go to the hospital for like a surgery or anything like that. For other people, I mean, I have a huge extended family, so like I've been to the hospital for like births and like surgeries and other stuff, and like my grandmother used to live with us, so we went to the hospital a lot with her. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Of course I've seen Finding Nemo, and I think it's adorable and I love it. And I think my favorite character is gonna be Dory, and then the really cool like sea turtle dad. Where do you buy your jeans? Old Navy. Old Navy has some of the best like 4-way stretch jeans I think there are. Torrid comes in a close second, but Old Navy is just a little bit cheaper. What's the last compliment you got? Oh, I got the best compliment. So right now I'm really into like watching beauty YouTubers, and like I'm into makeup right now, and the best compliment I actually got just a few days ago was, "Are you wearing false lashes?" And I wasn't, and that was awesome. It was when I was wearing Lash Paradise, so not sponsored. Do you usually remember your dreams in the morning? No, I don't remember my dreams in the morning, and that's pretty common, I think. What flavor tea do you enjoy? Mango passion fruit by Stash. Do you usually remember your... Oh, nope, I just said that. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? I don't know. More than any sane person should. What religion will you raise your children to practice? I think that I will raise my children to ask questions and to see where their belief structure is, and try to guide them to a place where they're ethical, moral people. I don't think you necessarily need religion to be ethical and moral, but if they find comfort in a religion and they find that, technically I'm Catholic, I don't go to church as often as I should, so I would probably bring them to services with me when I did go, but I would not insist that they become Catholic. I will baptize them, but I will not force them to go to church. How old were you when you found out that Santa wasn't real? So I found out Santa wasn't real when my little brother was maybe like 3 or 4, which I'm 6 years older, so that puts me around like 8 or 9, somewhere around there, or 10. I don't know. I can't do math. We talked about that earlier. I knew because I heard my mom on Christmas Eve like wrapping presents, and she kind of let it slip that she was wrapping presents for my brother. And like I saw the tag that said "From Santa," and like I kind of knew, but like it didn't matter to me, because I just thought, oh, my mom's being super nice and like still trying to do it. Like I always kind of suspected, because I was that kid that's like, how can the one person go around the world in one night? And like I didn't really buy into Santa, but I love the idea of Santa. I love the idea of like giving, and the idea of selflessness, and putting others before self. And so it wasn't traumatic for me at all. Like I know some people, it's really traumatic. I know my husband, it was really traumatic for him. But for me, it wasn't. It was a thing that's like, oh, okay, this is what moms and dads do. So, and the very last question is, why do you have a Tumblr? I don't have a Tumblr. I don't have a Tumblr in the sense of like the social media, but I definitely have Tumblrs for like scotch and stuff like that. Thanks so much, guys, for sticking with me, and I hope that you enjoyed this getting to know me video. And if you have your own questions, I am going to tag some people in this, Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, about this tag question. I don't know if she's done it already, but I don't think she has. She's an amazing YouTuber in the beauty community and absolutely awesome. And I'm also going to tag Glitter and Lasers, who, if you haven't seen her try on haul videos, she is just amazing and funny, and I love her commentary on clothes, and she's just such a cool like personality. I hope that if I met her in real life we would be friends. Like, I just really enjoy her vibe. Like, I dig on her vibe. And I will link down to their channels below. If you haven't checked them out, like, definitely go check them out and support them. And, you know, just give me a shout. Let me know if you have any other questions. If you know, my life is an open book, except for my nickname. You don't get to know that. That's the one thing that, nah, dog. All right, lovelies, thanks so much, and have a amazing day.